Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Unstoppable Denominator channel of wrestling results here in this channel. So we have Impact on Access TV results March 10th, 2022. The action begins before the Impact with an exclusive match. Havoc with Rosemary versus Jordan Grace. Two powerhouse collides. In our first bout of the evening, Anthony Carelli joins Tom Hannafin on commentary. Grace grounds her opponent with a headlock. Havoc turns it around as she hits a vertical suplex. Havoc remains in control with several running boots in the corner. Havoc plants her face first into the canvas. Grace avoids a leg drop, then uses her speed advantage to gain momentum. Havoc hits a Death Valley driver for 2. Grace connects with a running senton, followed by a Vader bomb for a near fall of her own. Havoc hits a thunderous sit-down power bomb, but it's still not enough to keep Grace down. Grace can't get her up for the Grace driver, so she instead locks in a sleeper, forcing Havoc to pass out. Jordan Grace defeats Havoc with Rosemary. Following an unforgettable sacrifice, the road to rebellion continues on an all-new Impact. Josh Alexander kicks off Impact. Josh Alexander opens the show after making his shocking return at Sacrifice, where, following an attack on Impact World Champion Moose, he revealed that not only has he signed a new multi-year contract, but he will also challenge Moose for the Impact World title at Rebellion. Alexander vows to exact his revenge on Moose after he stole the Impact World title from him at Bound for Glory. Honor No More interrupts, and their leader, Eddie Edwards, claims that Alexander has had everything handed to him on a silver platter. Alexander is shocked by the way Edwards has changed in recent weeks, joining Honor No More and blaming everyone else for his shortcomings. Former Ring of Honor World Champion Matt Taven comes out to defend Edwards, to the defense of Edwards. But Alexander fires back and says that when Taven won his company's world title, it put them out of business. Things get physical as Alexander falls victim to the numbers games, as it is beaten down by Honor No More until Rich Swann and Willie Mack make their save. Impact Executive Vice President Scott D'Amore announces 2 huge matchups for tonight. In the main event, Eddie Edwards will go one-on-one with Rich Swann. Also, Kenny King will battle Willie Mack, and that match starts right now. So we have Willie Mack versus Kenny King. Honor No More and Team Impact are banned from ringside for this match. In the main event tonight, Mack takes control with a slingshot crossbody to the outside. Mack continues the assault with a back body drop on the floor. King drives him throat first into the ropes to gain momentum. Mack hits a power slam but misses the follow-up standing moonsault. King begins to wear him down with a camel clutch submission. Mack goes low, then successfully sorry, I got distracted by a text. Then successfully hit the standing moonsault for 2. Mack hits the stunner followed by the 6-star frog splash to win. Willie Mack defeats Kenny King. Scott D'Amore gives Moose the contract for the Impact World title defense against Josh Alexander at Rebellion, and says that if he doesn't have it signed by next week, he'll be stripped of the Impact World title. Oof. John Skyler versus Crazy Steve versus Ace Austin with Madman Fulton Rebellion X Division title match qualifier. The winner of this match will head to Rebellion, where Trey Miguel defends his X Division championship in a triple threat match. Speaking of the champion, Trey Miguel joins Tom Hannafin and Matthew Rodlett on commentary. Steve hits a running cannonball on Skyler, but crashes and burns on Austin. Steve takes out Skyler with a springboard crossbody to the floor. Steve does further damage to Skyler as he locks in a tarantula on the ropes. Skyler comes back with a sit-down powerbomb on Steve. Skyler gets bitten by Steve, who gets taken out with a modified fold from Austin just moments later. Austin pins Steve to advance to Rebellion. Ace Austin with Madman Fulton defeats Crazy Steve and John Skyler. Rebellion X Division title match qualifier. Raj Singh confronts Bhapinder Jajjar and asks why he hasn't been returning his phone calls. Former Impact star Larry D makes a surprising reappearance and knocks out Singh with a right hand. Violent by Design reflects on defeating their former allies, the Good Brothers, to become the new Impact World Tag Team Champions at Sacrifice. Eric Young reveals that it was all by design. Knockouts World title. Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, and Knockouts World Tag Team Champions The Influence, Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, with Caleb with a K versus Mickie James, Chelsea Green, and The Inspiration, Casey Lee and Jessie McKay, All-Star Knockouts tag. After a new Knockouts World Champion and Knockouts World Tag Team Champions were crowned at Sacrifice, the Knockouts take center stage in the All-Star Knockouts tag. It is revealed that Chelsea Green re-injured her wrist during the Champ challenge against Deonna Purrazzo, evident by her wearing a cast during this match. The Influence trip up Lee from the outside, allowing Evans to gain control with a running leg drop. Steelz pummels Lee with a flurry of kicks in the corner, followed by a spear from Evans. Lee finally creates some separation after causing the Influence to collide with each other. Lee makes the tag to James, who quickens the pace. Steelz catches her off guard with a cutter. Caleb with a K pulls Green off the apron, but she makes him pay for it with a low blow. In the ring, James hits the DT on Steelz to pin the Knockouts World Champion. Mickie James, Chelsea Green, and The Inspiration, Casey Lee, and Jessie McKay defeats Knockouts World Champion Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, and Knockouts World Tag Team Champions The Influence, Madison Rayne, and Tennille Dashwood, with Caleb with a K, All-Star Knockouts tag. Following his victory over PCO at Sacrifice, Joan says that he doesn't believe in monsters, but monsters believe in him. Joan claims that he broke PCO's neck, proving to the world that he is indeed human. Bullet Club addresses the Impact Zone. the Bullet Club addresses the Impact Zone just days after Sacrifice, where Jay White defeated Alex Shelley, and the Good Brothers dropped the Impact World Tag Team titles to by design. Sorry about that. Doc Gallows says it's not about fun and games anymore, and vows to become Impact World Tag Team Champions once again. White calls out Shelley and offers the two to sweet him. Shelley declines the offer, but says that he has no regrets about his performance at Sacrifice because it was a war. Regardless of who came out on top, Shelley is hurt by the fact that White didn't shake his hand at Sacrifice after everything they've been through. White says it's not personal, it's just business. White claims that everything in professional wrestling happens because of him. Shelley responds by saying that Jay White happened because of him. Shelley's longtime ally, Chris Sabin, joins him on the stage, leading to the challenge for a tag team match next week. The Motor City Machine Guns versus Jay White and Chris Bay of the Bullet Club. Josh Alexander tells Scott D'Amore that it should be him in the main event against Eddie Edwards tonight, not Rich Swann. D'Amore gives Alexander a match against Honor No More member Matt Taven next week, and tells him to focus on his Impact World title opportunity against Moose at Rebellion. When Gizel Shaw and Lady Frost interrupt. Okay, so before we move on, I feel like Josh Alexander's match with Moose will be a disqualification, which will make what's his name, Eddie Edwards, into that match in a triple threat match. I guarantee. When Gizel Shaw and Lady Frost interrupt Deonna Purrazzo's interview once again, she offers them both a shot at the World Ring of Honor Women's Championship and AAA Rihanna D. Rihanna's Championship in a special triple threat champ challenge next week. The round to Rebellion continues on All New Impact next Thursday at 8/7 Central on Access TV and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube for Impact Insiders. Deonna Purrazzo defends AAA and Ring of Honor. Oh my God, sorry. Women's Championship against Gizel Shaw and Lady Frost. That should be a pay-per-view. Rihanna seeks revenge on Macklin. When they go one-on-one, Josh Alexander squares off with Honor No More, Matt Taven, plus the Motor City Machine Guns battle the Bullet Clubs, Jay White and Chris Bay, to kick off the show, and more. Rich Swann versus Eddie Edwards. I just reacted to Rich Swann being in GTS Wrestling. The war between Honor No More and Team Impact is far from over, as former friends Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann collide in tonight's main event. Swann launches himself off the apron and jumpstart the match. They brawl around the ringside area before heading into the ring, where Eddie Edwards takes control with a back elbow. Honor No More's Maria Kanellis joins Tom Hannafin and Matthew Rodlett on commentary. Edwards hits a belly-to-belly suplex out of the ring. Swann hits a modified 619 but crashes and burns on the follow-up flip from the apron. Swann sends Edwards crashing to the floor with a wild hurricanrana, Both men exchange strikes in the middle of the ring, with Swann gaining the upper hand following a clothesline. Edwards locks in the half Boston Crab, but Swann gets to the bottom rope in order to break the hold. Swann counters the Tiger Driver into a pinning predicament for a near fall. Edwards counters the handspring cutter into a modified Blue Thunder Bomb for 2. Edwards successfully hits the Tiger Driver, but it's still not enough to keep Swann down. Swann connects with a back-to-back handspring cutters. Edwards avoids the 450 splash, hits the Boston Knee Party, and spikes Swann with a driver to win. Eddie Edwards defeats Rich Swann. Honor No More joins Eddie Edwards in the ring as Impact goes off the air. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you guys do not miss an upload here on the channel. I will be back Sunday morning with SmackDown results. Not just SmackDown, but AEW Rampage results, because I won't be able to do it tomorrow morning. So stay tuned. Please subscribe. And I'm out.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Skiz here. And if you don't subscribe to SWANN and the Unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy ass bitch motherfucker.